Uncertainty has been revealed over the future of Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth at Blackburn Rovers, just a few days after Derby County were linked with the signing of the two experienced Championship players. Now, Andreas Weimann is a former Derby County player who could be heading back to Pride Park Stadium soon, and it appears, according to Elliot Jackson, that the futures of both Danny Batth and Andi Weimann look set to be over at Blackburn, with Derby County looking to be the most likely opportunity for them to get another contract. Now, it is believed that Blackburn Rovers have offered both Andi Weimann and Danny Batth new deals, but it looks as if they are set to reject them. Now, if you haven't done so already, take a look at this video for the raffle for a Derby County home shirt in 2025-2026. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets. Just yesterday, Derby County announced the sale of Nathaniel Mendez-Laing to MK Dons to join up with former Derby County manager Paul Warne. Well, now we've had an update on the futures of Danny Batth and Andreas Weimann as Derby County look to shore up their Derby County squad and add some Championship experience as well as Championship quality. Now, obviously, there's a lot of conflicting reports and conflicting opinions on the signing of the likes of Danny Batth and Andreas Weimann, but in my opinion, as I spoke about a few days ago, this is two really good signings for me that are really going to help Derby County move into bigger and better things. Now, obviously, for a lot of people, their conversation is regarding more turnover next summer and changes that are going to be coming whether these two players sign or not. And for me, the big conversation has to be is if we look at the depth chart, we've already got a range of different players out of contract next summer anyway, so adding 2 more to the list won't make much of a difference. Now, obviously, for Derby County, the main aim for this season is to become more of a mid-table mediocre side and add to that squad that they've had this season. Now, obviously, with letting go Nathaniel Mendez-Laing, we've got 7 goal contributions to recover. In my opinion, that can come straight from Andreas Weimann, who this season contributed 9 times in just 15 starts and 30 appearances. Derby County also have the small issue of an injury problem at centre-half at the start of the 2025-26 campaign, with both Curtis Nelson and Sondre Langas expected to miss the whole of pre-season and the first few fixtures of this season. Now, obviously, for Derby County, there's a lot of discussions that will be going on behind the scenes about these potential signings, about obviously whatever other moves are going on, the likes of Cody Drammer. There's been an update on him as well, which I'll get into in a video tomorrow. But there's a lot going on for Derby, and early doors in this transfer window, we've got to make sure we bring in those quality squad rotation options, which in my opinion we haven't had this season. You look at a player like Mendez-Laing, a player like Caden Jackson, who in my opinion aren't good enough, and we need to improve that area. And we've let one of them go. Caden Jackson will probably stay, and then you've obviously got, if you bring in Andreas Weimann, you've got 2 wide options of Weimann and Blackett-Taylor. Andreas Weimann can play through the 9 as well and could play as sort of a second striker off Lars-Jørgen Selverson if we have to go to that 3-5-2 again. Now, the major problem that Derby County are facing this summer is that sort of defensive area. They've got 2 solid defenders, solid centre-halves on the sidelines for the start of the season in Sondre Langas and Curtis Nelson. So they're not going to want to bring in another 23-year-old central defender to add to that squad depth chart when they've got Jake Rooney coming through the ranks as well. So bringing in Danny Batth, it opens up that door to have a very experienced, very good quality centre-half in the squad and available for the start of the season. Now, I believe both deals will be 1-year deals for both Andreas Weimann and Danny Batth, and what we'll do is, as the season goes on, if they're impressive if they obviously stay fit, then obviously Derby County can then extend the deals for another year if that deemed necessary, like we did with the likes of Curtis Nelson, the likes of Richard Stearman, and players of that similar ilk that are sort of towards the back end of their career. But what Derby County can't get stuck in is sort of the mould and routine of bringing in experienced aging pros, because we know how that ends and it doesn't end well. But if we can get in decent experience, decent quality, and players that know the championship, there's no reason why we can't go on to be stable mid-table, then add to the squad in January, add to the squad in the summer again next season, and potentially maybe even next year go for a push for maybe even the playoff positions. Now, I'm not saying that that is what's going to happen. Obviously, we've got a massive transfer window coming up now, which is huge for Derby County in order to secure themselves as a championship club for obviously the course of next season, and then heading into the 26-27 campaign. And we've got to look that far ahead, because whatever moves Derby County make have got to be looking towards the future as well as looking to the here and now. We've obviously got a range of different registration slots available, one more so now that Nathaniel Mendez-Langer's moved on, and that opens doors. And Derby County, in my opinion, aren't done with sales. I don't think Mendez-Lang will be the only one out the door, whether that be loans or permanent. Obviously, we've already got rid of a few players already, and you've got obviously the conversation regarding the contracts to Craig Forsyth and Liam Thompson, which is still yet to be confirmed. But for me, we're in a position where I think a player like Joe Ward could move on. I think a player like Caden Jackson could potentially move on as well. You look at Dejan Brown and Jake Rooney as potential loan options to go out, and that obviously then opens the door for more players to join the squad and things like that. And Derby County have to be wary of any squad options which they take up, because you've got to make sure that they're going to be effective and they're going to cause problems for opposition defences, in which case Derby County can obviously move on to bigger and better things and get higher and higher up the table, because that is the aim for John Eustace. And John Eustace hasn't come to Derby County to sit in mid-table. John Eustace has come to Derby County to get us to the Premier League, and he won't say that directly, and he won't talk about it directly like that, but that is what the aim is for this football club. It is to get back to the Premier League eventually. And in my opinion, some people are going to turn around and say signings of Danny Batth and Andi Weimann don't help Derby County do that. But in my opinion, both of the signings do. They improve the current squad. They certainly improve the depth options that Derby have got. And it gives us a bit more versatility in the forward areas. Having a player like Weimann who can play all across the front three, he can play as a number 10. And I think some would even argue he can play as that number 8 as well, if necessary. I think it's a massive, massive move from the club and from John Eustace to better the squad that we have and better the players in the building. And I certainly think that that is a move in the right direction. We've obviously got talks regarding the likes of Cody Drammer, the likes of Camille Conte, and a range of other players, even including the January target of Oscar Frullo. And even the future of John Swift is now potentially in Derby County's hands, as they could put a deal together to bring him in. Now, you can obviously let me know your thoughts down in the comments if you have not done so already. You can hit that subscribe button, you can turn on that notification bell, and you can also smash that like button if you're looking forward to the 2025-26 campaign. I think John Eustace has got a massive task on his hands, and he knows exactly what he's doing to make Derby County a top team. Do you want to win yourself the brand new Derby County 2025-26 home shirt? Well, I'm here to give you an opportunity to do that. There will be a link down in the description where you can head on over to raffle.com to join a raffle where you can win the Derby County home shirt. Ticket prices start at just £1 with a range of different discounts available. You can buy 2 tickets, get 2 free, 5 tickets, get 5 free, 10 tickets, get 10 free, and 15 tickets to get 15 free. The intention with this is to give you guys the opportunity to win a Derby County shirt for less than the valued cost in the shop. So if you haven't done so already, head on down to the description, click on the link in the description, which will take you over to raffle.com, create yourself an account, answer the question, and join this raffle. The winner will be announced on August 1st at 6 p.m. as the transfer window begins to draw to a close. So if you haven't done so already, head on over there and get your tickets.